Coming up, men's soccer takes on the #1 team in the nation. Women's soccer is putting up some big numbers to start the season. And we're sitting down with new athletic director Phil Rassicott. That's all next on Inside Owl Athletics. Hello, Owl fans. Welcome back to another season of Inside Owl Athletics. I'm Matt Holderman. The men's soccer team has gotten off to a strong start. The Owls took a 3-0 record into Wednesday night's game with the #1 team in the nation, Tufts University. Tyler DeRosa was at the game.
The #1 team in the country had a lot of offense to start the game here, and they also had the first goal of the night. That came just 3 minutes into the game off the foot of Travis Van Brewer. Tufts did end up taking that 1-0 lead into the half. In the second half, the Owls finally got some momentum with this game-tying goal from James McCullum. But that momentum didn't last. Tufts midfielder Alex Ratson went on a tear with this goal in the 80th minute. He followed up with another one just a minute and 30 later. Coach Rick Scott did say that his team learned some valuable lessons in facing a top-ranked team.
I think we could have held on to the ball a little longer. I think we could have been a little more composed.
Tufts showed their offensive firepower on the night, having 13 goals compared to Keene State's 3, and the final score of the game was 3-1 in favor of Tufts. For Inside Owl Athletics, I'm Tyler DeRosa.
The women's soccer team is off to a strong start in 2019. They had 2 home games in the past week. In their game against Emmanuel College, they had one sophomore step up big time.
The Owls struck first in the 23rd minute of the contest when sophomore midfielder Kaliana Paloff put one in the back of the net.
This could be an opportunity. Back of the net. Owls go up 1-0.
The Saints would tie it up a few minutes later, but Ashley Bates gave Keene State the lead back just before the half with this goal.
Reynolds. Bates. Bates has a shot. Back of the net. The Owls are up 2-1.
Starting the second half, the Owls were in total control and never lost it. Paloff scored her second goal of the night, and Amanda Marshall got her first career goal to put Emmanuel away. The Owls won the game 4-1, giving them a record of 2 wins and 1 loss early in the season. Coach Lyons says this was a true team win.
I'm really happy about the performance. I think it was a true team effort. I think everybody helped, from the defense and midfield forwards.
The 4-goal effort kept the Owls' offense rolling. They've now scored 9 times in their last 2 games combined. Before that game, the Owls mounted a late-game comeback to beat the LaSalle Lasers. The Owls wasted no time getting on the board as Patricia Norton scored less than 7 minutes into the game, making it the Owls' first goal of the new season. But the lead wouldn't last as the LaSalle Lasers lashed out for 2 goals. They went into halftime with the lead. Jordan Abishano scored quick to start the second half, but the Lasers would reply again with a goal minutes later. The Owls were down 3-2 with less than 10 minutes left in the game, but Kaliana Paloff came to the rescue, scoring a goal for the Owls with 9 minutes left, tying the game up. Then, just moments later, Victoria Reynolds erupted, scoring not once, but twice in the final 9 minutes. The Owls completed the comeback and got the win at home 5-3. The Owl volleyball team has won 6 of their last 7 matches. The latest win came Tuesday night at Colby Sawyer. Allie McLaughlin had 14 kills and Emily Ann Ashford had 10. Megan Palmer led the team in digs with 22. Keene State took the match 3-1. This is the 6th consecutive Owl victory over the Chargers in head-to-head meetings. Keene State field hockey faced number 17 Amherst Wednesday night. The Mammoths showed why they are a top 20 team. This one went all Amherst's way. Mammoths win 9-0. Volleyball senior Olivia Matthew is the Little East Conference Defensive Player of the Week. Last week, Matthew recorded double-digit digs in 5 consecutive matches. She has 173 total digs on the season. That's the 6th highest total in the nation. Your Owl athletes of the week come from the volleyball court and the soccer pitch. Volleyball senior Bailey Wilson is coming off an outstanding week. She racked up 155 assists in 5 matches. She also got double-digit digs in 3 of those contests. Soccer's Victoria Reynolds scored 2 goals in 2 minutes last week against LaSalle. Reynolds' quick goals triggered a late-game rally that ended with a 5-3 victory for the Owls. Congratulations to all of our athletes of the week. Keene State Athletics has a new leader this year. Phil Rassicott took over as Director of Athletics in June. He comes to Keene State from a leadership role with the Pittsburgh Three Rivers Marathon in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. Prior to that, he was in the athletics department at Duquesne University. He joins us in studio today. Mr. Rassicott, thanks for joining us here today.
Oh, it's a pleasure to be here. Thank you.
So you've been here at Keene State for a couple months now. My first question, what's the experience been like for you so far?
So right away, I'll just say it's been great. And I look at this as kind of like the first 100 days. And so anytime like there's a change in leadership in a department, I always look at it from a standpoint of, you know, what do you really want to do and accomplish in 100 days? And most of that's about listening, learning, looking around, observing, getting to know, obviously your coaches, your staff, but the surrounding, campus community. So yeah, it's been great. I kind of grew up in this region just outside of Albany. So having been in Pittsburgh for such a long time, it's been really refreshing to kind of get back to the New England sort of East Coast style.
Right. Now, you were in Pittsburgh and in the athletics department industry for, 20 years now. How did all that experience help you coming into this leadership role here?
Yeah, I mean, obviously experience is the key to anything, if you're going to have some success, you have to start out somewhere. When you leave Keene State as a graduate, the first thing someone's going to ask you is, what experience do you have? I was really fortunate to have the opportunities that I had, even going back to Temple University and LaSalle University and then to Duquesne. So probably the first half of my career at Duquesne and in Division I athletics, or even at LaSalle, going back to that, was really sort of specialized in a standpoint of, student services, academics, which was awesome because it gave me my base of that's where the center is. Everything about what we do in college athletics is really about the student athletes. So as my career progressed, I was, again, really fortunate to have the opportunity to be recognized as somebody who was a forward-thinking, big picture. So I had the opportunity to grow professionally, to do a variety of different things as a senior associate athletic director, the second person in charge of the department. It was kind of like being the Swiss Army knife. You know? So you really did get to do everything, which is a lot like being at Division III, where you wear a lot of hats.
Yeah.
So, one of the things to me has been, do I have a background in facilities or game operations? I certainly did have the chance to do that while I was at Duquesne, and worked a lot with the NCAA as well in events management and basketball championships and those kinds of things. But development and fundraising and sports administration, mentoring of coaches, all those things were things I got to do progressively more and more as each year passed. And then I had the opportunity to be the interim athletic director as well, which, again, at that point, it's all the phone calls, all the emails, all the responsibility that I had times two, which really did help me prepare for the transition to Keene State as well. So. And
you mentioned recognition. I want to kind of take you back to March. When you first landed the job here at Keene State, you got a lot of kind words from other, big figures in the athletics department world. What did all those messages mean to you?
Obviously means a lot. It's a lot to live up to, honestly, But the things, one of the great things about college athletics, and it's really in life in general, but most of the success you have and the things that you do, it's built on relationships. And so to have those folks say such good things about me, recognizing that I did have those qualities, and honestly, for so many years, a lot of people had said to me, "Boy, you really should be the athletic director." And I would always joke that, well, when I was doing what I was doing, I got to do all the things the athletic director didn't want to do. If I did them well, he got credit, and if I did them wrong, I got blamed. So, but no, it really meant a lot from that standpoint to have those people, whether they were coaches, administrators, people I worked with, or people from the NCAA, whoever you touch. The network here in college athletics it's one of the best things about working in this field. So I just actually there's someone, a staff member that works in health and wellness here, who knows people that I knew through NCAA committees and she's working with one of our staff members, and she knows some of the same people I know, and that's the beauty of what we do. So.
Right, and I want to kind of touch on the 100-day plan too, and building. You've been talking about building kind of throughout the spring and summer, your whole time here. So I'm sure a lot of us want to know, do you have any big plans in store for the future of Keene State athletics?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, in looking at this opportunity, I felt like the potential here, I mean, we've done really good things historically. We've had success. But the potential here to do even greater things is right there for us. You know, a lot of times when people talk about building, they talk about, you know, they think about that three-dimensional, what kind of structure are you going to build. For me, a lot of the building initially is internal. You know, it's foundational. It's really same thing. Those relationships that we need, whether they're here in our department, whether they're here on campus, or whether they're here in the Keene community. So a lot of that is really about kind of laying the foundation for building that way. And then, you know, clearly thinking about things that we have in place that we can add to, or things that maybe don't exist here that we can bring. So I'd say really not much is off the table. So we've been able to do some pretty good things over the summer. New partnership with Nike. That's really going to help our department grow. You know, not only for the benefit of the students, but for our branding and that type of thing. Did some changes with how we do ticketing already here for the events that we do ticketing for. So those are things that are part of the building process. You know, moving forward, yeah, what are the opportunities for growth that we have? What are the programs that we have that we know that we can grow or expand? Or we just hosted the new commissioner for the Little East Conference on campus here on Friday. You know, they're looking at the conference level about adding sports and programs. You know, maybe even adding school, that kind of thing. So, you know, there's a lot of opportunity for growth in various directions from that standpoint. So, yeah, I'd love to be able to say that, you know, we'll build a new building or we'll do this kind of thing. And, but, you know, those are all open for conversation. And, you know, some of that work's already been started. So.
Right, and we look forward to seeing that building as the years go on here. Phil, I'd like to thank you again for joining us here today.
Great, thank you, I appreciate it.
Thank you. The Owls are packing their bags for a weekend full of road games. All the action is on Saturday this weekend. Field hockey will be at Westfield State to open LEC play at noon. Men's soccer travels to Elms College for a 1 o'clock game. Women's soccer starts conference play at Castleton. That game also starts at 1. And volleyball goes to Wentworth for a tri-match with the Leopards and WPI. Keene State plays at 1 and 3. That's all for this week. For all of us here at Inside Owl Athletics, I'm Matt Holderman. Thanks for watching.